Hey guys, it's time for Breakthrough with Coach Lou. Coming to you live from Accelerate Life University, XLR8Life.com. Coach Lou will help you break through anything that's stopping you. Are you ready to get the motivation, the energy, the life, and all the success you really want and deserve? With no further ado, here's Coach Lou. Here's Coach Lou.
What day is it, guys? It is Monday morning. Do you remember last week's show? And do you remember you had a little bit of homework to do with me? Welcome back to Breakthrough with Lou, guys. If you're just tuning in today and you weren't on last week, I'm going to explain what I'm talking about. And if you were on last week, I do believe you have something that you were supposed to do in the meantime. And we have been starting to focus on this series coming up, and we're not really delving into it fully yet because I want to get everybody on board, get you primed up into change. What is it you need to change? What are the changes you need? What are the changes you need versus the changes you want? And in the long run, what we're going to come up with is the reality of what is it going to take to facilitate the change that you want so bad. How do you actually do it? We have walked around for decades and centuries as human species, Americans, wherever you are in this country, and whatever the deal is, and we have just walked around forever and ever wanting something more, but never knowing how to do it, or never getting there, or never really taking the action. And then change comes along and hits you like a freight train that you didn't see coming because you weren't paying attention. Change is automatic. Change is going to happen. You are going to change. If you do nothing positive, you're going to go backwards. You don't ever stay static. Nothing is ever just in one place. You don't just hit a level and stay there. If you don't maintain and keep growing, you shrink. And sometimes you have to keep growing just to maintain. Look at the economy we're in right now, guys. What does that tell you? How much have you had to grow just to survive, some of you? Okay? How about those that were doing really good and you're working twice as hard now to maintain the same thing and you're going, wow. And then you got your customers griping, oh, you upped your prices 2 or 3%. Boo-hoo. Gas is up, diesel's up 200-300%. And we still go to the gas station every day. I have people that tell me, oh, my business is struggling, coach. And I'm like, well, it's time for a price increase, or you got to decrease your expenses. Well, decreasing my expenses is not a possibility. Everything's gone up. Okay, it's time for pricing. I'll lose customers. Really? Go to the grocery store. Do you see anybody not buying food because the prices are up? Okay, and I'm not saying rip people off. I'm not saying be unethical. What I am saying is you've got to change for the times, guys, or else you are going backwards. Let's face it. We're going through some major reorganization and changing right now in our companies and what we're doing and how we're doing it. And it's not getting rid of people or downsizing. It's just focusing on what is going to be the most productive and serve people the most. Yeah, it's been a lot of change. Some of it we didn't expect right now. As you can see, the studio's a little different. We had to make some changes and quickly to get things, seamless movement. And I still got pictures sideways and, my backdrop isn't what I want it to be. But guess what? We're here and we're rocking and rolling to get to the next level. You make the changes that you need to get to the next level and make things even better. So last week, if you were on the show with me, we talked about, don't be afraid especially if you're on XLR8 watching, to send me some chat and questions and so forth, because we're going to get real interactive. This show is going to go to the next level. We're about to have a relaunch of what we're doing to really push to do more to serve you and help you better, so that it's not just, and we're not just random, but we're going to really have a handle on what is the outcome of the next month of the show, the 2 months, the 6 months, the end of the year. Where do we want to journey together, right? Okay, so last week we talked about, well, the week before, change, that's going to happen. It was turn and face the strange. Was David Bowie's take on it, and my take on it is turn and face the challenge. Bring it on. Let's go. Let's see where we can go to the next level. Because challenges and problems, some people call it problems, I like to call it challenges, are lurking out there, and you're going, if I kind of ignore it, maybe it'll go away. Well, yeah, that doesn't work. Problems get bigger and bigger and bigger. But when you step outside of your circle, so you're comfortable inside the circle, but then a problem comes out over here. If you ignore it, 3 more little problems pop up. But if you expand to handle that problem, you can never go back. You're going to stay this bigger person. Then you expand again, and you expand again. What happens when you expand? Well, your shoulders go back, your chest opens up, and you breathe more, which gives you more cognitive brain function to handle more challenges. It's a vicious little circle, isn't it? But your quality of challenges get better the more you grow. That I'm going to assure you guys. So on the note of change, last week I said, pick something that you need to change. So be ready for this week's show on it. Well, now what we're going to do, you picked it, now I'm going to pick it apart. And you're like, oh, great. This is just what I wanted to hear, Coach. I thought you had a miracle solution for me. The miracle solution's coming. You already have it within you. But here's the deal. The change that you picked, you say, hey, I really want this. This is what I need to change. Is it potent or is it impotent? Is it a potent driver? Is it something that drives you? You get up, you'll wake up 15 minutes early, you'll work on this. You know that it's going to shift your life for the better. You're going to go in a different direction. You're going to really step up and make decisions that need to be made. You're going to progress. You're going to stop being X. You're going to start being Y. Whatever it is it something that makes you go, I want to get up in the morning? Or is it something you go, well, it's kind of a no-brainer. I mean, if I do a little of this and a little of that, I'm going to change. But change or transformation is my key focus for today. Is it something that's going to give you some change in life? Or is it going to give you ultimate transformation into a whole different life that you desire, instead of something that's going to make it a little bit better? Okay, and you go, well, with the transformation or great change or great decisions also comes great risk. No kidding, folks. That is so true. There is great risk in anything you do. The greatest risk is doing nothing or to let yourself slide, because you're guaranteed to have a lesser lifestyle, less happiness, less energy, less health. Okay? Because, when people do it, health is an example. Sometimes people are like, well, I knew this guy or this gal who worked out really hard and did all this and ate right and died of a heart attack at 45. Okay, could happen. Guess what? They might have had a congenital defect. They might have been missing a piece to the puzzle. I don't know, but that's 1 in a million compared to 999,000 out of a million who sit around and don't exercise, don't eat right, eat fatty fried foods and everything else. You're almost guaranteed to have a heart issue at some point. See the difference? There's 1 out of a million that was the picture of health and drops dead running on a race course. And then there's 999,000 people that die of, poor lifestyle choices. So which side are you going to err on? I'm going to err on the side of, I did a race on Saturday. I got one coming up this Sunday, a big one coming up this Sunday. It's a Tough Mudder. It's a challenge. I'm going to err on the side of being able to do that kind of stuff and, push and get stronger, then I am going to go, well, I don't want to do that. I'm going to sit home and, Sunday's a day to have Zag meals and, eat a lot of fatty foods and sit around and have some beers. Or am I going to get out and train for this? Am I going to go out and, drive to Jacksonville and rock and roll and run and do this, 8+ miles and 35 obstacles and really push the envelope? I think that's better for my body than sitting back having, coffee and donuts in the morning and beer and fried chicken at night. Okay? Just saying. So that's what I'm talking about. You're going to change no matter what. And especially around this thing called aging and years. Hey, I don't know if you're 20, 40, 60, 80, 100 years old. If you're 100, God bless you. We all want to get there. And we want to get there and look and feel like we look today, right? But the deal is, when you think about this, say you're 50. Do you have as much natural energy as you did at 20? Some people feel better at 50 than 20 because they've learned how to really control it, okay? But as a norm, when you're 20 years old, you're kind of bulletproof. You can stay out late, you can eat junk food and still rock and roll. Where if you do that at 40, 50, 60 years old, your body's going to fight with you and rebel, rightfully so. And I'm not talking about eating rice, beans, and tofu and fake chicken and fake meats. Stay away from the fake crap, guys. Put it the way God or Mother Nature put it on the face of this earth. That's the way to do it. That's the way to eat. Raw, clean, for forever and ever. And we've done it all. And I know I'm going on a little bit of a health rant here, but I was the strict vegetarian. Then I was a pescatarian because I didn't feel like I was getting enough protein. Now the raw veggies and a lot of raw, and I was strict raw for a while. Raw veggies, fresh, organic, enough healthy animal proteins if you choose to eat them. I do. I don't eat a ton of meat at all, but I eat more fish, seafood, eggs and stuff like that, and some occasional meat. And occasionally I'll have some bacon. Not very often. It's nitrate free and, not cured and stuff. But regardless, I no longer feel like I've got to find that Atarian type of diet. It's like, have a flexitarian. Figure out what works for you, what really works. Okay, and it's not, well, my grandmother did this and she lived to be 80. Your grandmother also didn't have all the pesticides and all the other garbage. Okay, it's the same thing with, smoking or something like that. Oh, well, I really need to change how much I smoke. How about you just don't smoke? Okay, well, my grandma smoked and she lived till she was 90. And what was her quality of life? Number one. Number two, again, even back then, the tobacco didn't have 8,000 chemicals in it like it does now. Not recommending the use of tobacco, but it was a different story. That has changed in a fashion that you don't make the choice. You don't say, hey, I want to smoke, but I want that tobacco to have all these extra formaldehydes and everything else in them. It just was back then they picked some of that stuff out of the field and smoked it. And is it still kind of bad for you? Yeah, but not nearly what you got today. Same thing with your drinking water. I drank out of the hose when I was a kid. One of my best friends says, it never hurt me none. And he's on 17 medications a day. He takes, same age as me, and he's taking 17 different pills a day to stay going. And, he still makes that stupid comment, and I want to wring his neck, of better life through chemistry. And I'm like, dude, really? You're pumping yourself full of drugs with side effects and toxins. And I realize that some things are life-saving. There are some people who are on medications that if they don't take the medication, they will die. Okay? I'm not saying never listen to your doctor or anything like that. What I'm saying is, we're going back to what was that choice you made last week? See, I told you I was circle around to this, but I wanted to give you some examples of different options. What was that change you need to make? What is it? And then to ask yourself, how compelling is this change? How compelling is it for me to make this change? I really should do it. It's not going to happen. This is pretty big. All right, well, now you got a better chance. It's an absolute must. I can't take it anymore. I'm done with that. I'm throwing that over my shoulder and I'm going forward no matter what hurdles I come across because I am transforming myself. What do you think? What one of those 3 levels of motivation to change do you think is going to get you to a win? I think I should. Kind of like to. This would probably be a good idea. This would be a really good idea. I really want to do this. Or I must do this and I must do it now and there's no other option. Now, even with the I must, are you going to just declare it and it's going to happen like The Secret? I'm going to declare I lost 100 pounds. Well, you got to get up and do something. Okay, and that's what we're going to cover in the next, maybe 4 to 6 weeks, is how to facilitate all this change. How do you do it? Okay, there's a lot to it, guys. But in the long run, what I want to do is get you prepped up for this. So your homework for next week is to go, how can I 10x this thing I need to change? What? It's already big. I'm already going to quit my job and start my own business. How can you do that 10 times better? How can you do that 10 times over with prowess when you leave your job that you may be even able to serve your previous employer as a contract with your business? You know, why it doesn't have to be a go in and tell the boss F you and stomp out and make an ass out of yourself. Might feel good for a moment, but how could you do it in a way where you'd have the support of your peers and everything else? You have a built-in peer group, and if that's your case where you're leaving a job to start a business, why wouldn't you want to have that peer group for you to tap into rather than go in and I didn't like any of you MFers anyway, I'm out of here? Well, they're going to go, we don't like you either. We hope your business fails, as opposed to, you know what, it's really been an honor to have served McDonald's, I don't know what it is, with you guys. And, it's time for me to grow and I'm really excited about this. And, I'd love for you to be a part of my journey, forward. And I don't want to lose the connection, even if you're kind of having to puff that up a little bit, because sometimes it's not, but you don't want to storm out unless that's a way to do it and you're going head to head and you're going to show the world and you're going to, there's all different scenarios. But really think about these things. But really what I want you to do is, when we're done today, look at the change you wrote down last week, something you've got to change, and go, is this something that's going to get me up early? Is this something that's going to keep me working harder? Is this something I'm excited about? Or am I just simply going to be going, okay, make a little change, make a little progress? The old tortoise and the hare was a good thing. The hare, he runs fast and then gets tired and falls asleep, and the tortoise passes him and wins the race. Slow and steady might be great. Slow and steady might get you to the end of your life and you retire and die. Okay? The hare might, run himself into the ground and train wreck, but he can certainly get up quicker and move quicker to start over. So I don't know. I don't want to sit here and say, well, either or is right. How about a combination? Know the time to sprint like a hare and know the time to stay steadfast like a tortoise. Interesting twist on that. See, because there isn't always a right or wrong in a comparison. It's a right for me, a right time for me, a right pace for me. And when opportunity's there, you strike. And when opportunity is limited, you stay steadfast and do your slow growth. See, this is why I'm a coach, guys. I am here to say to you things that will stimulate you and go, okay, this is my time for X. This is time to take action. This is time to evaluate. This is time to X, Y, Z. These are the reasons that I come to you live each and every week. All right, so on that note, kids, I am going to, it's going to be a little bit of a short one. Go back and reevaluate your change the change you've committed to, reevaluate it. Ask yourself, take it up a notch. How do you take it up 3 or 4 points? How do you 10x it? How would it, what could you anticipate could go wrong? It doesn't mean be a pessimist. There's going to be challenges. Anticipate them and have a plan if they show up. That's much better than going, well, I could fail. It could be this. I could have that. This could happen. The economy could this. I'm not doing it because this, that, and the other. Well, you could always do that. Or you can go, no matter what, there are going to be times I'm going to hare it, and there's times I'm going to tortoise it. And then there's times in between where you're just kind of going, I'm really hustling, but I'm also making sure that in the grand scheme, long term, there's growth at a slower rate. Short term, making stuff happen so we can do that growth on top of that. Wow, pretty impressive, huh? You know all this stuff, guys. That's the thing. I'm here to remind you. I'm here to guide you. I'm here to ignite you to do it. But you already know a lot of what it takes for success. You've been successful before. You've done this. All right, kids. This has been an absolutely amazing morning to share with you. Got lots going on to take everything to the next level. I know I've been a little radio silent during the weeks on the shorts and stuff, because we've had a lot happening, a lot of change, but it's a lot of good change. A lot of really awesome stuff, guys. So, are you ready for this? Are you ready to make the change? Are you ready to step up? Are you ready to transform your life? Let's take a journey together. Live with faith, energy, passion. Always live your dreams. You can catch all the replays of Breakthrough with Lou at XLR, the number 8, LIFE, accelerate-life.com. And catch all the replays, guys, and get ready to rock and roll. Live with faith, energy, passion. Always live your dreams. It's Coach Lou signing off. Have an amazing day.
Ready to take it to the next level? Tune in to XLR8Life.com for our live shows, encore presentations, life-changing courses, and live coaching with Coach Lou himself. As Coach Lou always says, live with faith, energy, love, passion, and always live your dream.